some pictures, so I hope you enjoy.
'Twas the Night Before Halloween by Laura Hill. 'Twas the night before Halloween, and all through the haunted house, every creature was stirring, even the wicked mouse. The monsters had gathered with new ghouls to spare, to frighten young children that visited if they dared. A bat had flown to school and whispered in his ear, "Come to the haunted mansion this Halloween if you have no fear." Robert shrugged and slicked back his hair. "I'm not no chicken. You know I'll be there." The others were smug, and they agreed right away. "Well, we're coming too. We won't be afraid." The wind carried the bat as he returned to his house of fright, and told the evil witching sisters they'd better get some sleep tonight, for tomorrow we'll cook an incredible stew made of toad's eyes, snake skin, and of course a child or two. The witches shouted and screamed in delight as they plotted and schemed. The children will be ours just after tonight. Dawn broke, and the children went to school. The 5 students all chanted, "We're not afraid of no ghoul." The evening came, and their moms were busily painting the darlings' arms and faces and gave their costumes a last-minute straightening. The kids met at the corner of Elm and Hanson with a plan to conquer the haunted, scary mansion, with costumes such as Tinkerbell, Scooby-Doo, and even Spider-Man looking handsome. It sat stoically atop of Black Mountain, just past the Mayfield Cemetery, when walking past, Tinkerbell screamed and ran back. "Come on, guys," Robert complained. "We don't need that fairy." They passed the abandoned church and beside it the creepy resting place, when suddenly there appeared a skeleton, but without a face. "Don't go any further. You'll regret it if you do," as he danced among the graves, singing a loop-de-loo. Scooby-Doo ran home. You could hear him cry, "You'd better come with me, unless you want to die." "Oh, that scaredy pants," Robert fussed. "We should never have brought him along, but his mother had demanded, you know, she can be really strong." Robert, dressed as a ninja, and his 2 other friends continued on the path to the haunted mansion, with Robert shouting, "I hope this night never ends." The other boys looked at each other and sheepishly smiled. They weren't as convinced as Robert. They knew this was the last green mile. The trio arrived at the Mansion of Doom when, just as they approached the porch, a huge wooden door opened and the youngest boy swooned. I'm not going in there. It's dark and it's dirty. Just then a huge owl swooped down from the dead oak tree. That's it. I'm leaving. I want to grow old and be 30. The witches saw them as they hid behind the chimney. Oh, Agatha, there is only 2. Yes, my sister. Luckily, that's all we need for our Halloween stew. Robert and Joshua pressed on, holding on to one another. When Joshua asked, "Can't we turn a light on, big brother?" Suddenly, as if on command, the candles glowed from their holders. It was then that they saw them crawling eerily on their shoulders. How quickly they came. Their legs, oh, how hairy. And they sprang from their webs onto Joshua's costume. He was dressed as Jim Carrey. Robert grabbed the candles nearby without a second thought. But unfortunately for the boys, it scared the spiders not. He waved at them and shouted, but Joshua was covered and trapped. Just then, Joshua wished he was anywhere else, anywhere on the U.S. map. When atop of the staircase, with curses they claimed, an enormous, great, black, 8-legged freak, and Robert knew him by name. The biggest, hairiest, and the blackest of heads left Robert to know that he had much to dread. The smoke from the fire gave the room an eerie glow, and it wasn't long after Joshua's demise that the witches appeared below. My sister, what have we here?" said one witch with a crooked nose and a green mouth that sneered. "It seems we have a visitor," said the witch. "A rotten one indeed," the other exclaimed. "He looks rather tasty. Let's eat him with speed." As the witches circled around him, Robert was scared beyond word. His voice would not work as they drew closer. They truly sounded like a running herd. Robert couldn't breathe as the witches inched closer in. He knew they were mean, and he thought this was the end. Robert was twitching and kicking and felt tangled with fright. But when he opened his eyes, well, it was broad daylight. "I don't understand. How could this be? I'm safe in my room." Then his heart filled with glee. Was it all a dream? Oh, certainly not. I must have killed those old witches. That's it. I killed the whole lot. Just then the bat flew from the darkened hill past Robert's bedroom window and gave a wink. Robert's shout was loud and shrill. Robert, what's the matter?" His mother came running. But Robert knew he couldn't tell her. He knew the witch's chatter. Instead, he ran to his mother, wrapped his arms around her, then checked in the bed next to his to view his little brother. Joshua was fine, a bit sleepy, it's true. And when asked if it was time to go trick-or-treating, Robert replied, "I'm going to stay home and pass out